Now that we are done with the basics of views, I think it is now time to tackle about fragmented views. So in this lesson, we will now be creating a fragment of a single view for us to load other views. For example, in a one page, we can divide it into different parts. But before we continue, I have done something with our previous views. I omitted some part of the links. For example, the theme, Bootstrap theme, I omitted the Bootstrap JavaScript since we are not using that right now. Now, I added this container to contain all of the row, to contain all of the divs that we have created later. I added this container to contain all the rows that we have created last time. You might want to do that to improve the design of our page. Now let us continue with the fragmentation of our page. In a page, usually we have a body, and of course we have most of the pages have some kind of menu on the top. And now we will be doing that in this lesson, and we will be adding a footer for this page also. Okay, let's begin. The first thing that we are going to do is to add a header. Just above the page title. Then inside that header, we will be inserting a Bootstrap Navbar. So for this, I will copy all of this example and insert it inside the header. I will just arrange this one like that. Then let us take a look if the navbar is working. So as you can see, it is now working, but it needs some adjustment. What I will do is I will move this header outside of the container. So now our header is outside of the container fluid. I will just adjust this one and take a look. And now we have a menu. Now that we have a menu, we have to change some part of our menu. First, I would like to take out this one and take out the drop down to the form. And then take out some part of the drop down. For this, I would like to name this as about, and I will create another for home. Inside the anchor, I would like to insert the URL to home, since this is a link for our home. Okay, what I will do is I will create a PHP tag then I will echo the base URL This base URL function is a function from CodeIgniter. If we echo the base URL, it will automatically echo the base URL that we have set in the config, which will be this one. Now, as of now, this will not work because we have to load the URL helper first. To do that, we may need to load it here, just like this. Load dash helper URL. Let us take a look if it will work. I will refresh this, and now it works. Now if we inspect the length, it will echo the base URL, which will be equal to our config here. Okay, now this is good. We have loaded the helper, but since we will be using the base URL for our entire application, it is recommended to autoload this helper. Now what we are going to do is to copy this autoload helper and delete it. Now we will go to the config folder and go to the autoload.php. Now what we are going to edit is this helper. We just need to insert an element inside this array. Now since we want to autoload the URL helper, we will insert the URL helper. If we go back to the home controller, as you can see, there is no more code for the loading of the helper, and we have autoloaded it in the autoload.php in the config. Now let us test if this will work. I will refresh, and now it is working. Okay, now let us go back to the home page view. Since this is our home, it is right to insert only the base URL. But for this other link, the about link, we need to insert the base URL, and inside the base URL function, in the parameter, for the about link, we need to insert the link for the about page. What we will do is copy this link and insert it here, but since this base URL will output the base URL of the application, we still need to add another parameter for the controller of the about page. If we take a look, this is the controller of the about page. Now for the home page view, what we will do is just add about, and automatically it will add user/about. Let us try the home link. It's working. Let us try the about link. It is also working. Now we need to add another menu for the about link, for that to be inserted above this about page title. What we will do is we will not copy and paste this code into the about page. What we will do is we will create another view just for this menu. What we will do is we will create a view just for the header, which will be from here to the top. Then I will cut this, and inside the view folder I will create a new folder. I will name it partials. Inside the partials I will create a new file. I will name it as header.php. Then I will paste the code for the header. Now let us go back to the homepage view. What we need to do here is to load the view inside this view. Okay? I will create a PHP tag and I will input the code for loading the view. To load the view, we need to specify the folder of the view if it is inside of a folder. For this example, we want to load the header.php inside the partials folder. Now what we will do is specify the folder first, partials, then the name of the file that we want to load, partials and header. Now that we have inserted the code for loading the view inside a view, we need to check if this is working. I will go back to the home page and refresh this one, and it is working. But if we go to the about page, there is no menu above this page title. Now what we are going to do is go back to the about page menu or the home page menu and copy this code and go to the about page view and delete this part and insert the code. Now it is time to check if this is working. I will refresh the about page and now we have the menu for the about page. If we want to create another view for the footer, all we need to do is just insert the code for the footer here. For example, if we want to insert the copyright down here, we want to create a div here. Copy 2019. Let us check. Okay, it's working. We just need to center for that to be aligned center. Okay, then above this I will insert an HR just to create a simple line. Now this is the footer of the page. What we will do is just the same. We will cut this one and go to the partials folder in the views and create a new file as footer.php and paste everything and save it. Then in this part, we need to insert the footer view. Footer, the same thing that we're going to do to the homepage view. I will delete this part from here, since this is the closing tag and this is the footer. Let's just arrange this one too. That. Okay, let us go back to home if we have this one. If we have this copyright footer, let us go back to home page if we have this part of the page, since we have loaded it inside the homepage view. Now we have the part about page, homepage, about page, and homepage. And that's it for page fragment view. Stay tuned for our next tutorial. Thank you.